Yes. All right, boys. How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? It's a little bit earlier than what I did it yesterday, so thought I would get started a little bit earlier than normal. But it's been a very, very, very dry day. Very, very dry day. No volume. Just kind of bouncing around. But a lot of you have been still sending me some good little setups you've been taking. So that's good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I like when people are using their initiative, trading safely. But obviously, I know the questions are just going to be about gold. What's gold going to do? What's gold doing? But look, this is our current trading range. Okay? Yeah, we've got lots of news. We've got FOMC later in about 2 hours. 2 hours time. London's still holding the high. New York's got the low of the day. So it's one of those. But it's the problem that we've got today is that FOMC. I tried to explain it in the video earlier. It's like it's a report. It's not some. I don't think it's something that you can actually physically view. It's not like Fed Powell speaks, where you can actually watch the thing play out. It's like a report, so it can be quite volatile straight away, or it can realistically do fuck all. But yeah, I'm good. Lou, I'm good. Anything clips? Adam, bro, what you thinking on USD JPY? It's kind of following suit, like all the other JPYs, to be honest. Like I said, I had this marked out on USD JPY from fucking ages ago. But I don't really trade USD JPY. Look, how unfortunate were we? How unfortunate were we on GJ? Like, I kind of want to feel like the markets definitely knew where my stop loss was. Like, to literally hit that 0.4 pips, right? Literally there. And then reject, smash TP1. And, I mean, fuck me. By all means, just go through and hit TP2. USD JPY up or down? Look, if it's strong for USD, USD will continue up. But if it's weak for USD, then JPY will push USD down. So, look, I mean, my personal opinion is that if they're not looking to do any more rate cuts, then USD will strengthen and go up. So we will see most USD pairs plummet, gold plummet. So it's one of those. Look, DXY is already kind of pushing this morning. So it's one of those. What does that mean, Dennis? What's Dennis in? Tom, Davey, leave the trade until stop loss or TP. Yes, 100%. At the end of the day, you've committed. Like how much else, like, in life do you commit to and then stop? Do you have any tips for patience and not taking profits too early? I mean, I would say delete MT4 off your phone, but you can't. Look, it's just a time thing. Honestly, it is just a time basis of learning discipline. You know, it's an emotional thing. Don't get me wrong. When you're first getting into this, look, I mean, every single person in this chat right now, you know damn well that you probably can't afford to lose the money that's sat in your trading account, right? So that within itself is already going to make you very, very emotional about the money you're trading with. So therefore, you're always going to be checking your phone. You're going to be wondering what's going on. You're going to be, you know, tampering with the trade, maybe changing the TP, maybe changing the stop loss, doing this, that, and the third, because, you know, we're all kind of embedded with the we don't like losing, especially when it comes to money. So it's just one of those things, like patience, discipline. I can't teach that to you. I can tell you, don't do this, don't do that. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things that you learn through time. Yeah, losing any money is hard. Do you know what I mean? But you know what the weird thing is? Like, you say that, but realistically, I look at life a little bit different. I look at things like, I don't know. This is going to sound really, really weird. But like, going out for dinner and going on holidays and stuff like that is you losing money. Because unless you're getting some benefit from it, i.e. like bettering your life financially or something like that, you've just gone and lost money on something that you're going to get a very small amount of enjoyment out of and then probably forget about. That's just the way I look at things. Do you know what I mean? Everything really is a loss. You know, eating food, you're doing it to, stay alive and stuff like that. But, you know, if you go out for dinner and it's pretty shit and you don't really enjoy it, you've just lost money. But you're not really, like, bothered by it. You kind of get over it pretty quick. Yeah, yields are pushing as well. Which, again, it's showing early strength. But in regards to gold, you know, do not be taking any trades within this range. You've got two potential scenarios. Do you know what I mean? And the same things play out. Okay, you've got a buy setup, but again, you know, there's going to be potentially a lot of volume that comes into the market. So you're going to get the confluences that I've told you about in regards to the orb strategy probably play out. So that is the same on the buy side and on the sell side. We want to essentially have breakout, retest, and then push, and then the same on the sell side. Breakout, retest, push. Do you use fair value gaps imbalances in your trading, bro? Sometimes, yes. I do. I will kind of know that, you know, like, I mean, the GJ trade that we took, that was like an inverted imbalance. This one here, 4 hour. We've obviously got the 4 hour imbalance here. Bullish imbalance here. So obviously this now turns into an inverted one. And yeah, played out. But it's one of those getting stopped out by 0.3 or 4 pips is just, yeah, it's a bit of an L. But it is what it is. Not everybody got stopped out. Not everybody moved their stops either. So a lot of people still hit that TP1. You know, the directional bias was correct, so I'm happy. That's what I always say to people as well. Like, you know, don't feel like taking an L and price going in that direction as like the whole thing was just pointless. It just means like your entry was a little bit... If I hadn't moved stops to 193,600, we would still be in this and we would still be holding it. And we would all be sat in nearly 200 pip worth of profit. But it is what it is. Like, it can't be helped. It cannot be helped. I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. It happens. It happens. What's HS's strategy? I have zero fucking idea. No clue whatsoever. One of the guys saying about, like, you know, trading live and dealing with making small amounts of money. When I was learning and going through the stages, one thing that I found helped me massively and got me over the kind of, you know, being a bit butthurt that I wasn't making £1,000 and stuff like that, is I used to trade my live, obviously correctly, and trade a demo at the same time. So that I could, so I'd place the same trades. So you could link it up to like a social trader or whatever. So you place the trade on your live on a 0.01. And yeah, by all means, have a fucking 100, 200k demo account where you're trading, you know, 2 or 3 lots or something like that. So you place the trade on the live account, copies over to the demo account, and you use your demo account as your kind of, you know, emotional fix. Like, oh yeah, you know, I'm going to get to that stage where I've got 200k equity and I'm making £500 a trade. But realistically, you've only made like £3 or £4 on your live, but you're not focusing on your live. You're focusing on your demo, and you're getting your fix from the demo money. Thoughts on USD 500? I don't really look at futures and indices, bro, to be honest. Adam, will you take a gold trade when news comes out? Yeah, I mean, if we're still on stream by then, we are 2 hours and 3 minutes. I highly doubt that anybody is going to stay on the stream till that time. But we'll see. If there is a potential setup there, then yes, I will potentially call one out. And we can take it live. I feel like people need to show you more respect in the group, bro. You're the only one who actually advises people in the group about risk, etc. But they would rather follow 2, 3 people than wonder why they lost. Thank you. I respect that and appreciate it. My answer to it is that it's just a newcomer type mindset. You've got to remember this saying: quality over quantity. But the young generation have it backwards, where they think, you know, the more trades you're taking, the more money you're going to be making. Well, that's perhaps so if you're following some shit hot traders. But most of these people that have got Telegram groups and stuff like that, it's all recycled trades from other groups, or they don't really give a fuck about, you know, making you a lot of money. They're just trying to keep their, you know, trying to keep the clients active. And trust me, less is more. When it comes to trading, less is more. You've got to remember that the top traders in their prime, and we're talking like the guys that worked on Wall Street and all that sort of stuff, managing millions and millions in funds, right? Managing funds, investment funds. They were making 20% a year, right? But now we've got people that want to be making 20, 30% a month. And let me tell you, 20, 30% a month is not sustainable. Just on one account. Don't get me wrong. You know, I've already shown that I've got, you know, a vast portfolio of things that I've got money invested in. So yeah, you can make 30% across 7 different accounts, running 7 different things, and you manually trading. Of course you can. But just off of your own manual trading account, there is no way on God's given earth that you are going to be making 30% consistently for the next 20 years. 5% a month, yeah. 5% a month is good. If you're making 1 to 2% a week, pat yourselves on the back. How come no trades from you today? Because it's FOMC, mate. I did say that at the beginning of the day in the video that I did. There would be no trades from me until we see how FOMC plays out. Are you going to send out any trades today? But you know, that's exactly what I mean. Straight away, it's people like, where's the trades? Where's the trades? Where's the trades? If anybody had literally watched the video that I did this morning, you would understand why there's no trades and if there is even going to be any trades later. We could have FOMC come out, yeah, and price just go, we don't really know. We don't really know what to take of that FOMC report. We're just going to stay consolidated. Do you know what I mean? So it could just continue to bounce around in this range. Because, well, hold on a minute. We've got all of this red folder news tomorrow. CPI, inflation. So we could be waiting for that. To then go, right, okay, now we're going to fly to the upside or we're going to fly to the downside. But all the while, we've not really had much, you know, give from the report, FOMC report. We're just going to stay within this range. Yeah, anybody that's new to the group, anybody that is just joined, whatever, understands that I put a video out every single day without fail, right? In the morning. I know a lot of people don't have the time sometimes to watch them, but look, if you sat there with your bowl of cereal, if you sat there on your lunch break or whatever, just, or sat there having a shit, do you know what I mean? You can watch 5-10 minutes of it, and normally I'll give most of the actual information in the first 5 minutes before I start rabbiting on. Why is the EU algo still running though? Red folder news. I think it's still got some buy positions on, which I think they're going to try and get closed out. I would have turned it off like a couple of hours ago, but it's not run or managed by me. It's just a service that I offer to lower balances. But let me check. Yeah, it should be all right. Realistically, like, price only needs to retrace not even 10 pips for it to close out fine. Just getting a drink. 2 seconds. What would you say about closing a trade early, even if in small prof, if price didn't move as much as I thought it was going to, or would you hold it and rely on TP and stop loss? Look, that's down to you. I mean, realistically, I don't know what trade you're on about, what currency pair you're talking about, what lot size you put on. But if it's your own thing and you're not quite sure about it or whatever, then yeah, there's no harm in closing in profit. Like, this is the thing. When you're first starting out, there's no harm in closing when you are happy. No one's holding a gun to your head and saying you need to hold it until TP. You can hold it for 5-10 pips if you want, and then close it. If you are happy with the money that it's made, just basically close. We'll keep gold up because that is like everyone's fucking kryptonite. Adam, noob question, but your videos sometimes going over my head because I'm so new. What would you recommend is the best place to start to learn? My YouTube. Go on my YouTube. Go right down to the very, very beginning. I shall show you. So look, go on to the videos, go all the way down to the bottom, start with the first video. Start with the first video and just go through each one step by step. Can I live in Dubai earning £5,000 a month? Yeah, of course you can. Of course. Can you show me your fib settings, please? Yes, I've done a video on it, but I will show you. Alright, there you go. Screenshot it, whatever you need to do. Realistically, you only need those boxes ticked. That is it. What pairs does the orb strat respect the most? I mean, look, it works on pretty much every single pair. But GU and EU are the ones that most people use it on. What is the best time frame for a retest in your opinion? I mean, look, the higher the time frame, the stronger the retest, but there is no harm in dropping down to the 1 minute if you want to drop down to the 1 minute, but I just tend to find it a little bit noisy. But 5 minute and 15 minute are always going to be kind of your best ones. How much has your portfolio made today? Not a lot, because market's not really moved. I think it's done 0.5%. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. 0.44%. But 10% for the week so far. Nearly 14% for the month. And then for the year, we're at 166.7%. But yeah, slow day, so it's not really moved. Adam, what's been your best trading day in your whole career? How much you made? Okay, so it was last year, around March, I think March time, March, April time. And I still remember like it was yesterday. We were in 5 Palm on Ladies' Day, which was Thursday. And we'd been holding 2 or 3 gold trades. So we'd got in the first one. We caught the retracement, got in the second one, caught the retracement, got in a third one. And NFP was coming out on the Friday. No, inflation was coming out because it was Thursday. And yeah, price flew to the TP. I closed out and it was on Harrison's account, 350k. That was when I used to trade Harrison's money. But yeah, 350k, and that is what bought his Eurus. Any advice on gold at the moment? No. We are in between London high and New York low right now. 350k was mental. Yeah, but I mean his balance was pretty big. What account balance is reasonable to be making a living from? Well, again, that kind of depends on what you class as living. Because, you know, my idea of living might be completely different to your idea of living. Depends what you want out of life. The orb strategy, look. The orb strategy, if you are in the investment group, scroll up. I don't think chat is hidden for existing people when they join. Just scroll up and you will find it. I will tell you the day that it was posted so that you can... Right, it was posted on the 1st of October. There you go. Right there. Yes. Do not be taking any trades until FOMC has come out. Look, you can what's the word I'm looking for? You can approach this time in 2 different ways, okay? You can trade when FOMC comes out, or you can wait for news to play out and then take a trade, or you can wait until we have the daily close because we might still get some manipulation. You know, what's to say, for argument's sake, I know it's a big move still. Price pushes all the way up to 26.50, or maybe even further up into 26.61, and then just drops from there. Obviously, we would, you know, be trailing stops and we'd be all right, but manipulation can still happen. This is why these 2 scenarios here are crucial. There is no reason why we shouldn't have a breakout. Some sort of retest. It might be very, very, very quick, but some sort of retest and then push. Adam, put the vape down. It's not a vape. It's ICOS. I stopped vapes 3 weeks ago. What's JPYX? Is it yes, JPYX is the Japanese yen index. So it's always good to have like your indexes to essentially God, I'm having brain fart today. To clarify, like, the direction of the opposing pair. So if you're trading GBP JPY, this is why I was still confident on my bias, was because JPY was dropping. Do you ever put monthly trades on? I can try. Yeah, I sometimes trade based off the monthly. The AUD CAD setup is based off the monthly, which I did a breakdown on and put it out in the group. Basically my take on this was, we obviously had this area of resistance. Last month we broke out of that, caused quite a nice imbalance. So realistically, this month could, because like in previous months, price has come back down, filled the imbalance, and then pushed. It was just like this could happen, right? So once I saw the dailies pushing down and looked on the monthly, right, this could be where we are retesting 91,500. Which we did, tapped into. So now I'm looking for the monthly to actually flip bullish. But obviously we've got, another 22 days for this to happen. So it's just looking on, dropping down on the time frames. Okay, the weekly seems to be rejecting the EMAs. It's also hit the area of support, so it's rejecting this as well. Daily, kind of a bit of consolidation, but we have got quite a nice hammer. So again, based off of potentially news coming out, we could see price push, or on the flip side, we could see price push down. Like it's not a given. We could still see lower levels. We could see a retest of 0.90800. But either way, this trade for me is it's risk-free anyway. We haven't really come down to the entry again. EMAs, yeah, exponential moving averages. They are just these blue and red lines. These here. So I use them as an added extra confluence. So when the blue is above the red line, we are in an uptrend, right? And then when we have a crossover, when the red crosses over the blue line, it means the price is beginning to go in a downtrend. These also act as a level of resistance. So you can see where the wicks push up and test the EMAs and rejects. The EMA, the 14, is acting as a level of resistance all the way down. And you can kind of just hold price until such time as those cross over, and then you can flip your bias. You can get out the trades, because if you look here, so right down the bottom, we had, where price started consolidating, we had a crossover of the EMAs, right? Again, it's just an added confluence, but you can tie it in with other things. Your imbalances, whatever. We had the crossover, we had the rejection, and then we started our uptrend, right? And the further the EMAs are apart, the more it shows the strength of the direction it's going. And you can just swap to the 4 hour. I know they're lagging indicators, but these EMAs, they're normally quite good. So you can just keep holding price until such times you see, right, okay, price starts to cross over here. You could get out there if you wanted to, but realistically this was just a break and a retest to then continue. But there's no harm in getting out when you see it cross over and you think, oh, maybe price is going to start going on a downtrend here. You will have made a decent bit of money from holding those. Do you use the 8, EMA, and the 14? Yes. What do you put in price and expiration on buy limit and sell limit? So Obviously, if it's a buy limit, you want to put the price of what the signal is that's been sent out. And the expiration is just basically, I don't know, say you want to put it on until 7 a.m. because after 7 a.m. it's invalid. So it will just take the trade off your MT4 at 7 a.m. How do you get your chart to look like that? Right click, go on to settings, and you can change your candlestick colors. The canvas, you can change it to gradient or solid. You can choose the colors, like could have it potentially like a little bit like that, which I've had before. You know, where it's black fading into grey. You can play around with all the settings as you want. You can take the lines off. I don't have any of the lines. Yeah, candlestick colors, the borders, the wicks, all that sort of shit. But yeah. And then you can save it as a template. I'm good. What's gold saying? Not much, my friend. Not much. Pretty static. Playing around in the ranges. Playing around. Billy, good to hear. Good to hear. That's why I do them. Longevity in this is my priority for you guys. Otherwise, you know, you're just in there blindly doing whatever the fuck is sent out, and you've got no idea how to correctly risk manage. You've got no idea how to essentially put trades on, whatever it might be. How to do buy limits, how to do sell limits, how to do buy stops, sell stops, all that sort of stuff. What days not to be trading, what news comes out. You know, all these things, all these factors. Have a big impact on your trading career. And this is the thing, I didn't have any of those things when I first started. I didn't have a group telling me what I should be correctly risk managing, what lot sizes I should be using, where to get this from, what to do that on, blah, blah, blah. For someone who has never used TradingView, what shall I mark up the chart, e.g. gold, to identify the resistance and supports? Watch my support and resistance video, bro. This one. I can't physically watch these videos anymore because I find them very cringy, because they were like the first time that I'd ever been in front of a camera and I didn't know how to talk. But yeah, all of these ones, you know, they go through how to identify this, how to identify that, mark it out on the charts, how to mark them out on the charts. I wasn't aware of certain things until you came back into the investment group, but learnt the proper basics. Good. Good. As long as you've got the foundations, and then you can essentially build on top of them. Like I said, you can go and watch all of the strategies under the sun. There is no harm in doing that, as long as you don't start complicating yourself looking at the charts. Do you know what I mean? To a lot of people, these levels and these lines and stuff like that, they might not make no sense to anybody, but they make sense to me. And that's, at the end of the day, what matters. You don't want to be clogging your chart with loads of indicators and stuff like that, because most indicators just lag and they're not going to give you true market indications. So, you know, and trust me, I've done them all, even the ones that have the little fucking arrows with buy and sell and stuff like that. Like, they're all bollocks. There is no holy grail indicator. There are just ones that you can use to help in your visual analysis. And look, you know, over the course of 6 years, I've saved fucking loads. Bollinger Bands, market sessions, moving averages, which is obviously the ones that I've got on my chart. Order blocks, relative strength index, session volume profile, smart money concepts, SMC, tradest indicator scripts, TTF, blah, blah, blah. And look, I mean, don't get me wrong, some of them help. Like, take a blank chart for argument's sake. Let's just get rid of those. You know, if you want to learn SMC, yeah, cool. You've got an SMC indicator that can, I think, unless... There you go. SMC indicator, change it, shows you what breaker structures are, change your characters, this, that, and the other. Doesn't have like the market structure shift bollocks, but, and then you've got, you know, order block areas or imbalance areas. If you can't identify these sort of things in the market, then yes, okay, have it on your chart for a bit, but you want to be able to kind of indicate them yourself. You know, this one's another one, I think. Thoughts on SMC? Look, SMC to me is just a fancy way of saying lower low or higher high, lower high, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, that to me, and again, I'll show you an example, okay? Plus the fact that fucking ICT is just a fraud himself. So this is like, what, a break of structure. Like, to me, if I'm looking at that, we are in a downtrend and we've just created a lower low, because this low is lower than this low and is lower than this low. Another break of structure. Well, no, it's just created a lower low. It's lower than that low. Change your character, like, well, no, it's just caused a higher high, because this high is higher than this high, so therefore it's a higher high. It hasn't changed, like, direction. It's just broken the high, so therefore it's a higher high. Like there, it's a higher high, because this high is higher than this high. But all the SMC and ICT stuff and fair value gaps and imbalances and all that, so these are things that have been around in the markets for fucking decades. They have just been taken and recycled into something else that sounds a bit fancy and cult-like. Thoughts on ICT? His concepts do work, though. It shows in the market. Yeah, but that's like saying that support and resistance works in the market. Has done for fucking years. Decades. Longer than ICT's been on the map. Trend lines work. You know, you can clearly see entries off of trend lines and this, that, and the other. But the thing is, what I've noticed is things like support and resistance, things like trend lines, because they've been around in the markets for like before you guys were even born, they're like deemed as old. Okay, oh no, we don't want to be using old concepts, so we'll use something that's more like up to date, and like I said, it's got like a cult-like following. Trend lines aren't accurate, it's just lines. Okay, so let's just put your concept into practice. Okay, so trend lines aren't accurate. So if they're not accurate, we've got the low, right? We've got the first bounce after the low. So we've got A, B. We're waiting for C bounce. As you can see, it's acting as a support on the trend. And what happens when we get the C bounce? We push. What happens when we bounce on the trend line again? We push. What happens when we bounce on the trend line again? We push. So how is a trend line not accurate? I'll wait for your response. Because trend line was one of the reasons why I took this trade. That's just tapping into an FEG on the left, not the line you drew. Okay, so this one is tapping into an FEG right there, is it? I don't see no FEG. That one, yeah, cool. But it's about building confluences. Like if you just want to take trades off of FEGs, then by all means. You could have taken a trade off of the FEG here, because that 4 hour right there probably had, oh yeah, on the 30 minute or the 15 minute or the 5 minute, there was a tap into it, but actually it broke through. Like, what I'm saying to you is trend lines don't work for everybody, but they work for other people. So for me, trend lines have always worked. They've never not once worked. Breaking a trend line works. Breaking out of a channel works. But it's, yeah, building up your own strategy can come from imbalances, can come from order blocks and all this sort of stuff. But like I've said time and time again, when people mark out order blocks, realistically, what are they around? Like, where are the order blocks placed? They're normally around psychological key levels, i.e. round numbers. They might not be there to the T, but it is in the area of a round number. All the order blocks I've ever seen people mark out, I look on the right hand side, see the numbers, okay, cool, yeah, we're around 192. That to me is a psychological key level on GBP JPY, so therefore it makes sense for there to be, you know, some sort of order block there, when really it's just like a support level or demand level. Do you know what I mean? There's all these things that are basically just abbreviations of the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Order blocks, supply and demand, support and resistance, they all mean the same thing. It is levels where price likes to react off of. So it could tap into the FEG mixed with the fact that it's at the bottom of the trend line just to be two added confluences. Exactly. Like, saying something doesn't work, you need to have full-blown proof of it failing every single time. Like, this is why when I watched TJR and TJR was going, oh yeah, trend lines don't work and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm sat there literally with a trade. And this was before I even knew about imbalances and fair value gaps and all that sort of stuff. And I'm sat there with a trade that I've just taken based off of a bounce off of a trend line. Does that mean? I've sent out, look, okay, here's one for you, Felix. This was my trade based off of a trendline break on silver. Now, looking at silver right there, there's no FVG, there's no fucking order block, there's none of that stuff. I took it based off of the break and retest of a trend. Does that mean? So for me, they do work. For some other people, they don't work, which is fine. But I just hate all the ICT cults and stuff like that that think that ICT is the best thing since sliced bread, but yet he can't even pass a Robin's Cup. Bet there's a confluence on the higher time frame. I'm on the higher time frame. 4 hour, daily, weekly. Like, I don't work off of the 1 minutes and stuff like that. I've got them on my chart for us talking about gold. But I don't see anything on the 1 hour that I would have gone, yeah, cool, boom, done. Like, you could have gone, oh, well, that created a bearish engulfing candle there, which could have caused an imbalance, but yet it was kind of smashed about 3 or 4 fucking times like a prostitute and then consolidated and then dropped. Do you know what I mean? So 30-minute, yeah, okay, little imbalance there, but we hadn't broken out. Like, for me, I wasn't prepared to take a trade off of that. I think I actually took the trade off of the retest here. Bit of an impulsive move, but and I'm not saying like we're having a conversation about trend lines. I say they work. You say they don't. They're based off of everything is based off of a fair value gap. I've never once said that fair value gaps and imbalances don't work. Like, it seems like you're just telling me that trend lines don't work, which is fine. Okay, they don't work. They don't work for you. You use fair value gaps. Cool. So do I. Like, just because one confluence doesn't work for you doesn't mean it doesn't work for somebody else. I didn't say everything was based off an FVG without context or bias. It's useless. Yeah, of course. You have to have some directional bias. The conclusion of this is just use what works for you. Exactly. Like, Felix, do you use fib retracements? Because I remember someone saying that a fib didn't work for them and stuff like that. Like, I think Fibonacci retracement is probably one of the best tools out there for people to use. Retracement tool. Can't believe it tapped us out on GJ. I know. Oh well. Oh well. Not butthurt whatsoever. Yeah, yeah. Felix, can I just ask you one question? Are you an ICT trader? Because even you just going the discount and the premium and all this sort of stuff, like, it's just it's throwing terminology in there that I feel like has come from the ICT SMC cult following. Euro USD looks a potential buy depending on news. What? Because it's low? Don't be confused that when price is low that it needs to go up. Because there's a lot of them buy low, sell high traders out there. Especially on gold. Fuck me, I think that's like the worst thing that people trade, and it's like buy low, sell high, and get stopped out on. Yeah, but are you... Okay, Felix, what do you think of him as, like, an overall person? Because I'm interested. Because I used to... When I first came across him and watched his stuff, I thought he was fucking the most legitest person on the planet when it came to, like, he must have worked in some banks and institutions and shit to know the stuff that he knows. What's your take on him? Fibs are so good, where people go wrong is where they draw it up. Yeah, I mean... it's understanding what kind of price action they work on. Like, you can't draw a fib in this range here. Like, a fib in this range won't work. Do you really think he was kidnapped? I want to see what Felix's take is, because he's a guy that obviously trades like kind of his strategy more than maybe I do. I watched one of his videos and nearly fell asleep. I think his concepts work, and for a lot of people, himself, he is quite weird and has done some things he shouldn't, like blowing accounts, etc. I don't think he really tells the truth about stuff. Okay, fair enough. Tell the truth about his fund. HS fund. I've got it's nothing to do with me, mate. That was an EU algorithm alongside another algorithm, and the guys that run it didn't turn it off on news. I was sat in Capri when it happened. And I got the message from him saying, I've just lost 60k. And I was like, why? You know about it though, tell us. I've just told you. I've just said. It's the exact, right. So he had everyone signed up to an EU algo, right? He doesn't control it. One of his team controls it. I wasn't working for him at this point, so again, I like how everyone kind of goes, oh, well, you must have been involved, blah, blah, blah. No, I wasn't working for him at this point. I wasn't in his group, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, purely and solely, the guy forgot to turn it off before news, and it ripped through everyone's account. But that's what happens when you don't manage algorithms. To go and blow 100%, that is a big thing. But then that's what happens with martingale grid strategies. Martingale grid strategies are one of the highest volatility type algorithms to get involved in. I've got two, and they're not even public. I just have them running on my own accounts because I know that, you know, that could potentially blow. They get into very, very big drawdown as well, and they'll just keep placing positions to counter the drawdown. Like, I can show you one right now. This one. That's a martingale grid strategy. I don't know if the camera will focus properly. But that just places in, it only trades NZD CAD and AUD CAD. And yeah. But then I've got ones that stop loss and take profit. You can put in how much you want to risk per trade. I've got a few that run on funded accounts. Like, I don't trade the funded accounts, I just have an algorithm set up that trades them. Adam, do you believe there is an algo? Yeah. Like, gone are the days of people sat in the banks phoning up, going buy, 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 sell, 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 all of that sort of stuff. And you'd be foolish to think that there are 20 people sat at a computer with MT4 or MT5 desktop on their fucking computers tapping buys and tapping sells. To move that amount of money in and out of the market, it is all on an algorithm. How much does it cost you to live in Dubai monthly? I've been told it's expensive. Again, it's based on where you want to live in Dubai, what kind of apartment you need. You know, I don't think it's any different or any more expensive than living in London. Do you count Sydney session in as Asia session? I mean, yeah, it's within there, but Sydney isn't its own session, if that makes sense. There's only 3 sessions: Asia, London, and US. Sydney's just part of the Asia session. How can I get in the algorithm? Realistically, you've got to have a decent amount of money to put in. They don't work on small accounts. That's the God's honest truth. £300 accounts, £400 accounts, they don't work. 1k and above, you're all right. You know, especially with martingale strategies. You know, so you can have the lowest possible lot size placed first for it to then scale in. What would be the minimum you need to be earning a month to live in Dubai as someone who doesn't make 5k plus a month? Okay, so take JVC for argument's sake. I lived in a studio when I moved into a studio when I came back from Thailand, and that cost me $1,600 a month. But that was all my bills included, all that sort of stuff. So you could probably find somewhere. It wouldn't be amazing. It would probably be a bit dingy for about $1,200 a month. Does the algo hold overnight? Yeah, some do. A lot of websites tell different session times and names. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you can watch different strategies, different people's methods, and you know they'll say, you know, true London Open is 6:30, and true New York session open is this time, and blah blah blah. Any people you recommend watching on YouTube? Bro, there's loads. There's loads. I wouldn't pay attention to like the known frauds in the industry. Like I said, the day theory is probably one of the only ones that I would promote to watch, just because it gives you a different perspective on how the market can be structured into 4 quarters. So that's a good one to watch. But to be honest, I don't really sit on YouTube now and watch different people's stuff, to be honest. What times do you go off of? So when I wake up in the morning, it's still kind of Asia session time. So 6:30, 7 a.m. Dubai time. I'm 3 hours behind UK time, so I'm still kind of in Asia session. So 6:30 is where you can see a lot of volume come into the markets. So that's when I tend to deem London session to be kicking in. So realistically, around before 6, I've already marked out my high and low of Asia. And then around 1:30 UK time is where I kind of wait to see what New York session does. So within, that time period before that, I've already marked out the high and low of London. Thoughts on TGR boot camps? I haven't watched any of his videos, but I know a lot of people that have watched them. They say it's good. What did you think of HS's GU trade? Because I had a similar prediction, but wasn't convinced enough to put it on. Could you go over it? For me, when it got sent out, the only thing that I could hazard a guess is what he was trading off of. Well, actually, no, I don't really. The only thing that I would have taken it off of if he was trying to take a trade off of the imbalance here. But that was his entry, 130,900 off of this candle here. So again, I don't know his strategy. I don't know what what his confluences are. But I haven't taken a trade on GU because I don't trade consolidation. So I'm not too sure. What happened to Archie? Archie is... don't know what he's doing. I don't really speak to any of the other traders. Surely on a smaller investment you just trade bigger percentages. Yeah, but it's not about that, because it's, if you're referring to the algorithms and stuff like that, it only, it can make a decent percentage gain maybe 1 or 2 days, but then it might just go and blow the next day. Do you rent or buy outright? I have bought a couple of properties that are ready in 2026, but I rent the apartments that I live in. I sent a personal setup to HS and he ended up putting it in the group. It was kind of funny. What setup was that? I used the high-low Fibonacci. Oh, okay, on your setup on GU. Okay. Yeah, like I said, for me, I wasn't really paying attention to what made him take the trade, to be honest. But it's definitely just a sideways type market right now. Maybe a bit of a scalper's dream. What's your weekly percentage gain? It depends. If you're talking about manual, again, depends. I've taken one setup this week, and that was GJ. I'm still holding AUD CAD, but GJ only made like 1.5%. But it can be, like I said, it differs. And then the algorithms, they might make 1 or 2% a day. Can you show where to find the 2 EMAs? What are you saying, Adam? I'm good, CJ. Just go on indicators, type in moving average, and find the moving average exponential. And then when you click on it, it will show up here. You want to go to settings. The length is basically the number. So 8, source, close, offset, 0. Method, smooth moving average. Length 5. Click OK. And then the same on the 14. Just change the color. Change it to red. 14, close, 0. Smooth moving average, length 5. And change it to red. And that's that one. Q3, Q4 this month gonna be hopefully be good. Got rid of a lot of noncy news. Well, you've still got the elections. You've still got probably the biggest one. Just got off work. What's the chat today? Not much. Everybody wants to know what gold's doing, but we will not know until another hour and 5 minutes, 4 minutes. What do you think if it's a group trade we should put a bigger lot on? No. Every single trade, right? You should be risking 1%. Or, say with gold, I would even be risking 0.5% for lower account balances. But 1% per trade is kind of just the rule of thumb. FOMC, we long in gold. Yeah, I mean, if they come out and say that they're going to do another rate cut, for sure. But if Powell turns around and says that they're not looking to do any more rate cuts, then we should see gold plummet. Will you be streaming when news comes out? Yeah, I mean, it's only another hour and 5 minutes, I think it says. Hour and 2 minutes. So, but then, like I said, there's the flip side. FOMC might come out. There might not really be anything to go off of, and price just continues being pretty static until tomorrow. Do you still risk 1% with your bank balance? I mean, I don't have that much money in my bank. It's mainly sat in crypto. Whenever I need anything, I just go and get it in cash. I'm on the 1 minute trading, EU, NAS, German 40 this month so far, up 3.5%. Nice. What is CPI and PPI news? CPI normally falls with inflation. And PPI is on Friday. It gives you a breakdown. Like, going into depth on it right now. It will give you the information when it comes to commodities supplied for the personal consumption, blah, 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 blah. Gives you the breakdown of what they all mean. And then you've got a bit of a sentiment there. My FX book just shows, you know, people that have got all of their accounts linked up to my FX books. It will show like the sentiment. So what traders are in longs or shorts. As you can see, they're pretty bullish on Euro USD and GU. What's the sentiment on gold? Yep. People are pretty bullish on gold as well. Wow, 50-50. So that was silver. They're pretty bullish on silver, but 50-50 on gold. So, but I don't tend to go off of what this says, because this is just basically based off of all the retail traders that have got my FX books. Bank balance risk. Do you mean balance of my trading account or actual bank balance? Adam, you think EU going to move slow till elections? EU? No, I mean EU will follow what DXY does. What do you set your RSI to? I have mine on 9 or 14, but not sure. I don't have an RSI on my chart, bro. RSI is Relative Strength Index, which normally sits at the bottom here, if you have it on your chart. He probably means trading account balance. Okay, I still risk the same, 1%. Sometimes if I'm being a bit cheeky and a bit confident, I might risk a little bit more. Sat driving the lorry right now, get a pay rise of £3 an hour next week, so most of the wage will be invested. Well, at least you're getting one, bro. Corbyn, when it comes to RSI, zero idea. RSIs, I think even when I first ever came onto TradingView, I clicked the little X button to get it off the fucking screen because it made no sense to me. But again, it's just another one of those, right, when it breaks out of this and it's overbought or oversold, you do blah, 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 blah. So if it works, like I said, I just found when I looked into it, it threw up too many false indications. So when it had broken out, you're obviously supposed to go and see like a higher high or something. It wouldn't be on the chart. So I just kind of like didn't use it. Do you still trade for HS? No. I used the spot divergence. That's about it. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, pairs are having a bit of a push down. A pre-FOMC push down. We've just had the 4-hour close. So, but again, like, this is why I don't go off of what the sentiment says on stuff like that, because, you know, realistically, everybody's thinking, well, price is, you know, at a low here. It's got to be a buy. And that's like a liquidity dream. Because people are buying and buying and buying and buying here because they think, oh yeah, news is going to push price up, and then it could do the complete opposite because it's like, no, we've still got liquidity that we want to pick up down here, so we'll push down first and then we'll push up. Did you teach him to trade? No, I haven't taught him a single thing. And I'm being legit. I haven't actually taught him anything. Tend to stick to low spread pairs. Never really touched gold. I do keep an eye on it. Yeah, I don't really touch it that much. I tend to take like 1 or 2 trades a month on it. Have you ever traded for a beginner to help out? I mean, I've got people that have invested into my PAM account, which is, you know, people that don't want to learn. They just want to make a steady 1 to 2% a week and not worry about it. Like, I do that. But that's just one big equity pool. That's not me trading their accounts. It's me trading one account that's filled with investors' money. I feel like I remember seeing a video of HS saying you take trades for him. Probably a while ago, yes. Don't get me wrong, I used to, but I don't anymore. I just do education and kind of just handle the questions and the emotional outbursts and all that sort of stuff. You think HS is getting lucky with the trades? Maybe he building false confidence. I mean, look, it's working for him. It's working for him. I'm not gonna speculate on it. I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, you know, he's getting a bit cocky and stuff like that, because like, fuck me, he's not the only person that does that. But you got to understand that I remember when I used to take little trades like that and make 10 pips, I used to feel gassed. Do you know what I mean? And you should feel gassed. If you've gone and actually, you know, put in some graft into charting up something and then taken a trade and it's gone in your way, then yeah, pat yourself on the back. Thank you, Corbin. Thank you. Opinions on moving stop loss to above break even. Done it a couple of times, it's hit, then pushed in my favor. Well, I mean, perfect example is my GJ trade today. Like, why did I pick 600? Why didn't I pick 500? We'd still be sat in the trade right now. Like, at the end of the day, there's always a trade for another day. I'm not going to sit here and dwell on being tapped out in 35 pip profit. It is what it is. You know, it's one of those things. I wouldn't even call it a mistake. It was just unfortunate. How do you add the EMA lines to your chart? Trying to add, but can't seem to find the correct ones. I just said, you type in moving average exponential. And then type in the 8 and 14. I think it's on I think it's in this one. Which indicator? Video. I go over my EMA settings in that one. What is the best way to grow a 10k account? Slow and steady. 1%. It doesn't matter if you've got 100k, it doesn't matter if you've got 200k, you still should be risking 1%. So if you make 1% on 10k, that's good. £100. Boom, done. If you can make 1 to 2% a week, it's £200. £100, £200 a week. Keep it in there. Keep scaling. Compound interest in from the outside and the in. Mark Douglas, Trading in the Zone. Very, 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 very good book. Very good book. OG. What are the green boxes on your chart? They're just like support resistance areas. Adam, with a funded account, because there's usually a 10% overall loss limit, should we just risk 1% of that 10%? Yeah, of course. Of course. Wavy. You need to get out of the mindset of basing everything around lot size. You need to be risking 1% of your £280. So 0.02 might mean the trade that you're trying to take that makes it over risking. Because it's all about the stop loss. You can do it, you can go on risk calculators, all that sort of stuff. Type in the stop loss in pips. And how much you're willing to risk, your account balance, and it will tell you what lot size you should be putting on. Staying live for FOMC minutes. Yeah, it's still early. It's only 9:10. I'll get another drink though. Ooh. What are you doing, Price? What are you doing? Appreciate everyone still being here. I know it's a bit dreary. What are people's thoughts on Prime? Anybody drink Prime? Anybody think it's good? Anyone think it's bad? I've literally only ever tried them very, very recently. Would rather be on the live than watching the charts by myself. There we go. Boom. Hi Adam, what is your best advice for dealing with losses? Shit happens. Shit happens. Like, it shouldn't be the only thing in life. If you can't handle a loss in a trading account, how can I put it where it's kind of, think of it like this. you essentially lose money when you go out on a night out. Because you buy a beer, right, that goes through you, makes you a little bit drunk, but then you pretty much piss it out in the toilet, okay? So you're pissing away your money. But the next day, you don't sit there and beat yourself up about how you spent 50, 60 quid. I mean, you might do. But it doesn't stay in your, like, your head like, oh my God, I'm, fuck's sake, I can't believe this, can't believe that. You just get over it pretty quick. And that's what, as soon as you start to accept the fact that you will lose trades, like, and you will probably blow accounts. But within that blowing and within that loss, there is a lesson. Prime tastes like syrup. Yeah, I guess so. I quite like them. From doing top-down analysis, how do you decide your entries on the lower time frames? Oh, God. 9 times out of 10, most of the trades I take have already had or already been analysed 3-4 days prior. Because I always use the weekly closes and stuff like that. And the weekend to then have some sort of directional bias on where I want price to go. Or where I believe price is going to go. And I will wait for that time to even then drop down to lower time frames. But it's normally built up, you know, a lot of prior day type analyzing. It's not all done on the day. Okay. Kian thinks they're bad. That's fair enough. My favourite prime is Meta Moon. Never tried that one. I've tried... this is first time trying Ice Pop. It's so-so. The blue one is atrocious. Yeah, I've tried the green one and the pink one. No, not the green one. I've tried the red one, the pink one, and this Ice Pop one. Only been in the stream 15 minutes. What pairs will you be looking at over the next few days? I'm still kind of waiting for GA to sort itself out. And NZD CADs. I sent this out already. And AUD CAD I'm already in. And GBP JPY, we sadly had our stop loss tapped in profit and shot to TP1, but it is what it is. I blew a 1k account a couple of weeks ago, redeposited 1k, and learning sometimes it takes blowing an account to learn. Yeah, blowing your first account will be a massive indication on whether or not you're cut out to actually be in this industry. Iced peach tea is top tier. I haven't tried it. Why did you set your stop loss 30 pips above the entry instead of just above entry? Because when I did it, we'd broken out of resistance, and then this morning we had this nice initial push. So I was happy to move stops below the resistance level Because I theoretically thought that price isn't just going to all of a sudden plummet down here and then push back up. So, but it's GJ. GJ can do these types of moves. And I always like to trail my stops into profit, especially with pairs like GJ, because the pip count is quite big in a small range. You know, whereas with GU and stuff, it tends to be a lot more slower trailing stops, because a 100 pip move on GU is a hell of a lot bigger than a 100 pip move on GJ. But it's one of those. It happens. That's the first time it's happened to me in a very, very long time. But it obviously just wanted to flush out this liquidity here. And then push. Silly mistake, but we still made some money. Some people didn't get tapped out, so some people still made TP1. GJ can pull out some big moves out of the blue, I've realised. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. GJ is one of those pairs that can pretty much move in any session, because JPY is heavily reliant on USD, but obviously JPY is an Asian session pair, and then obviously GU is a London session pair. How long did it take you to start seeing a good amount of profit? A couple of years, but then I started back in 2018, 2019, where there was no TikTok, there was no, I think there was a couple of traders on YouTube, but now you are fucking bombarded by, you know, material, learning material there for you to watch. I didn't really have that much. So yeah, some people can become profitable in 6 months, but then they've got a field of knowledge to their disposal. How do sessions actually affect the market? Well, like I said, it kind of depends on the pair, but Asia session tends to be your low volume consolidation session. So very, very small price action. And London session and New York session, or US session, whatever one you want to call it, they tend to be the kind of volume based sessions. So I did stay up 24 hours before and watched Asia session. It was a very, very boring watch, especially on pairs like EU and GU. You know, we can show what an Asia session movement is like. So look, we draw a box. So market reset is at 10. So from 10 till, let's say, 6, this is the price movement on EU. That range right there. So a range of 15 pips, or 14.7 pips if you want to be precise. But that is an Asia session range right there. Price action. Very, very small, very, very just consolidated. And then you can see London session starts kicking in with the volume. Swiping out the high, swiping out the low. You know, here again, Asia session kicking in. Very, very consolidated, dribbly type price action. London kicks in at 6. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, you can't be mad at winning money. Always looking at what could have been is not going to lead to anything. Exactly. That's what I mean. Just move on. There'll be another trade to take. So, it is what it is. What do you think about FX Alex G's £100 to $1 million challenge? A load of bollocks. If you don't believe me, go and watch FX Alex G Scammer. Watch Wall Street Police, his videos on
if you've ever gotten stopped out, right?
FX Alex G's scam, $100 to $1 million challenge, blah, blah, blah. It's all a load of bollocks. It's just marketing material. Do you know what I'm pissed off at, right? The only bad thing about where I'm at in the world is that when it comes to playing games, right? And I was watching this game last night. I thought, do you know what? Looks pretty sick, the game. Like, I thought this game looked pretty sick. It's a bit of a mixture between Apex Legends, Warzone, Fortnite. But in order for me to play this game, I have to be on EU servers with 178 ping, and the frame rate can't even hold 30 frames per second. Because no people play this game in fucking the UAE. Which is great. But I thought this game looked pretty cool. Definitely something that I wanted to play, but yeah. Unless I literally just want to be the worst person playing the game. Stay away from TikTok. Yeah. All games are boring now. Yeah, I mean, look, when you've got a bit of a dry market, I always like to just kick back and play some video games. When did you send out the NZD CAD trade? Is it in a different group to HS's one? It is, yes. Sometimes they're just personal setups. Sometimes I don't even send out all of the trades that I take because, I don't know, it's just one of them. Sometimes I just like to take my own setups, but the majority of the ones that I take, I do send out. Playing games makes me feel like I'm a bum knowing I'm not profitable yet. No, I hear it, I hear it. Middle Eastern servers are dead. Yes, they are 100%. They're alright on like games like COD and stuff like that. But fuck me, when a new game comes out and it's not really, you know, marketed and all that sort of stuff, like I can't get a fucking server for love nor money. How often do you decide to withdraw from your personal account? Kind of when I need it, to be honest. Like, I'll withdraw from personal accounts when it's to invest it into something else. So, withdrawing to invest into a property or put a deposit down for a property. But I have enough money coming in from other things, from trading, that I use for paying bills, buying food. I don't really go out. I don't go out drinking, clubbing. I very rarely take my missus out for a date night or anything like that. So I live a very, very easy, simple life. Like low cost life. Don't get me wrong. Like probably the most expensive thing that I pay for is my apartment, which is about £3,500–4,000 a month. But yeah, other than that, I don't have a car. I don't need a car, so there's no point having one. It's kind of just a dead investment if it's just sat in the garage downstairs. Do you think solely trading is enough to live a good life on? Look, trading and getting to a certain point opens up different avenues, right? There's lots of different branches that you can branch off and do within trading. Do you know what I mean? Say for argument's sake, you become very, very profitable, consistent, all that sort of stuff. And, you know, you start going places, you start mingling with people, people start to go, oh, you know, what do you do? And blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know, I trade, or I'm in the financial markets, or whatever it might be, however you want to market it. You know, you might then get someone go, oh, well, you know, I've always wanted to invest some money in, but I don't really know how to trade, blah, blah, blah. You can then use that as making money for yourself, you know, taking a profit split, getting an affiliation deal, getting yourself on a rebate scheme or whatever it might be, and be making some decent side hustle money from that. No problem, mate. The thing is with like, when people say what's enough for you to be living off of trading, that is such an open-ended question, because I'm not you. You know, you might want to go to the club every night. You might want to have a flashy car. You might want to have this, that. So your outgoings are going to be far greater than what mine are. Don't get me wrong. I've done the cars. I've done the clubs. I've done tables. I've done beach clubs and all that sort of shit. But once you've done it once or twice, I don't like things that I deem as kind of a liability where I'm wasting money and very monotonous. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, once you've driven a nice car around like JBR and Business Bay, and yeah, you've got a few looks and, you know, whatever, you might have picked up a girl or something, that's it. Like, the novelty wears off very, very quickly. And I've never really been like what I class as like a flashy cunt. Do you know what I mean? I don't own watches. Do you know what I mean? I've never had a watch. The only watch I had was HS, bought it and sold it for me. But yeah. Like, I think like my missus gets pissed off because I really don't care about having like loads of clothes and loads of trainers and, you know, having to look fucking smart every day and all this sort of stuff. Like, I quite happily chill in a basketball vest and grey shorts every single day. Like, I'm very, very happy within my bubble. I just want to make relatively enough to give to my family and live a normal life without worrying too much about financial stuff. Yeah, and it can do that. It can do that. Don't get me wrong. Like I pay my mum's bills. I make sure she's, you know, living all right. I don't really have a big family. I literally just have my mum and my brother. My brother's doing fine for himself anyway. He's invested in trading as well, like traders' money. But yeah, I don't have a massive family to worry about. What's HS behind the cam? Restructure that, Kobe. That doesn't really make sense. What's HS like behind the cam or off camera? Right. I think that's maybe what you meant. Had AUD USD buy. I got stopped out, unfortunately, today. Yeah, AUD USD used to be my favorite pair to trade, but yeah, I mean, what were you buying it by any chance? Oh yeah, AUD USD buy. Yeah, again, you're kind of just buying at the low. Yeah, you could essentially say there's a little imbalance over here. We're kind of sat at a previous level of support. You know, we have got the psychological key level of 67 flat, which we are kind of above this area here. But daily wise, look. You could essentially say that we've broken out of the trend. So price is looking pretty bearish. The only thing that I've noticed is we've got no bottom wick on this daily here, which is a good indication that price could potentially come down, form a bottom wick, and tap into the imbalance here, which would be, you know, potentially your buy entry. But again, depends if this daily spikes down, creates the bottom wick, taps into the imbalance, and then closes above this support, then yeah, I would look for buys potentially tomorrow. Currently in EJ buys from 163, stops at yeah, you might be all right for a potential push. Good push, take the high here, double top over here. You know, we are pushing into the daily imbalance over here, but I was long on GJ, so you know, my bias is still for us to keep pushing. I mean, what's HS like behind the cam? Very, very, very quiet. Very quiet. Nowhere near what he's like on YouTube videos, streams, lives. Very, very quiet, but it's understandable. Because I feel like if you're as active as he is, coming up with ideas, content, all this sort of stuff, you know, the downtime that you have is off cam. So 9 times out of 10, that downtime is just going to be you not wanting to fucking talk. So that's very much like what he's like off camera. I'm good, Praslav. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. What's the investment group saying anyway? I haven't really said. Break even here. Not break even, sorry. The rolling stop loss here. Okay. Not much has been said. What do you think of Johnny Mitchell's trading group? Johnny Mitchell is just a muppet. Very good sales guy, put it that way. But if you believe that a fucking Love Island guy that came from money is a trader, then you need your head checked. What do you think of HS's trades? I mean, look, he's, you know, I can't really speculate because I haven't seen him actually analyze and this, that, and the third. So yeah, I could have my opinion and say, oh, are they his trades? Maybe not. But look, he's made some money for some guys, so it's one of those. No gold trade today following the 2 losses. I guess not. No. Guess not. It was, to be fair, it was a very, very unfortunate loss that guy took. I personally, like I said, I wouldn't have taken the trade because I would have waited to see how he reacted to the high of Asia. But, I mean, essentially he was stopped out by 15 pips and then price dropped. So, thoughts on Gunther? You mean Gunter? My thoughts haven't changed on Gunter. He's not a trader. He's an affiliate marketer, and he has someone that does the trades for him. I personally don't believe that he's got one single penny in a trading account, because he works for those brokers that give you fake live accounts that you can do withdrawals from and stuff like that. But look, he's no different. He's no different to all the other people. Ollie Matthews, affiliate, has a trader working for him that does all the trades. Who's Bobby? Can't remember his last name. Bobby Williams, is it? But I met Bobby when he was over here. Seems like a cool guy. Didn't realise he was in like my original groups. So he used to be in the old like advanced group and stuff like that. But yeah, sound guy. I didn't realise how young he was. Like, I think he was 17 or 18. Bobby Jackson, there we go. Yeah, cool guy. Quite quiet. But yeah, Ollie Matthews, he's another affiliate. Pre-FOMC thoughts. I mean, look, there's been a lot of speculation that the Fed aren't going to raise rates. So my bias is, I reckon we're just going to keep pushing down. Personal bias. After the conferences that I've watched from Mr. Powell, where he said that the economy is on the up and up. Yes, they made a 50 basis points rate cut, but that was pretty much, they just wanted to do the extreme, and that be it. Yeah, the only thing with gold is, like I said, we can take all of this, you know, US yields pushing, DXY pushing, no rate cuts on that stuff, and it could still fly to the fucking moon because of, you know, the stuff going on in the war. Did you see Jack Doherty crash his McLaren? Bro. Literally couldn't give two shits about fucking Jack Doherty. Would you recommend having Axie as a broker? Yeah, I mean, Axie are good. Axie are regulated. They're one of the old school brokers. So much so that, you know, I think they should invest some money into updating their platform. But I'm with Axie, I'm with Vantage. Have you heard of Johnny Godfrey? Group ain't bad, whether or not his trades are actually his. It's up for debate, but still. No. Not heard of Johnny Godfrey. Wouldn't even know who he is. Made 10% on my first day selling gold. Any idea of predictions? Making 10% on your first day selling gold means that you are heavily probably over risking. To make 10% in one day, especially today where the market has been kind of static, yeah, I'd be interested on what your balance was and how much you were risking. But to be fair, you'll be able to tell me that. If you tell me your balance, what lot size you used, and your stop loss, I'll be able to tell you how much you are risking per trade. But this is like, the thing is, I only say this, but some people literally don't give a fuck. Like, if you don't care about the money that you're trading with, 300 in each trade was 0.03. How many trades did you put on? Do you think Fred from Fred Trading is good group to be a part of? No idea. No idea. You ever met up with group members? Yeah, when we used to be at Train Beach, there was a few guys that used to come through there from the advanced group. But yeah, some people drop me messages and say like, oh, I'm coming over to Dubai, it'd be cool to meet, blah, blah, blah. But, and this is no disrespect to anybody that has messaged me or would want to meet up. I'm not a people person, if that makes sense. Because, like, an in-person people person. I don't mind sitting here and chatting to people and, you know, doing videos in the group and all that sort of stuff. But actually, like, meeting someone in person, yeah, it takes a lot for me to do that. $22 trades was just getting in and out quick. Lucky, I guess. Were you trading with a stop loss? I probably already know the answer. 22 trades is you're veering on the edge of Don Vo. Right there. Not a very social guy. Yeah. Yeah. Like, in person wise, it takes a lot for me to actually go and meet someone for the first time that yeah, okay, maybe you've, you know, made some money or whatever it might be, or you've watched my videos, but I don't know, it's just like, it's one of those things, like, it's just a bit kind of like, bit different if you just like randomly walk past someone and someone goes, yo, like, Adam, but to actually like arrange meeting up with someone, I don't know, it's just a bit like, it's a first for me. Okay, so your balance was 300. Was that correct? 300. 0.03. In pips, what was your stop loss? Would you recommend living in Dubai? Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, great weather. Lovely people. Very, very respectful people. Safe. Would I say the whole of Dubai is clean? No, but the major parts are, like Marina, downtown. where you live. You know, they have people that walk up and down Marina cleaning the benches. Do you know what I mean? Cleaning the banisters on the actual, like, bit to Marina. I have a rule where if I take 3 losses on my own trades, I step away the day and just create setups on the chart, but don't place anything. Yeah, it's a good rule to have. Are you worried about the war out there? Not really. Like, I don't like. Dubai's one of those places where it kind of just wants to be friends with everyone, if that makes sense. It doesn't really care of people's alliances and stuff like that. Like, hence why there's so many Russians over here. Okay, so I mean, Logan, I don't know what group you're in, so I wouldn't be able to tell you based off of that. But 22 trades in one day is an awful lot, bro. An awful lot. What percent do you risk per trade? 1%. And how much RR on swings? It can differ. Like the JPY trade was 4 RR. They're near off on damn it. How long does the volatility from FOMC last? It sometimes doesn't even kick in. It won't. I don't know if it will kick in at 7. Like Switzerland, they haven't been in any war since 1847. Yeah. I think with Dubai, it focuses more on the money aspect. Like, why turn down Russians that bring a lot of fucking investment over here for the sake of something that's going on in other countries? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really care. It's not like, you know, Europe and America. I'd be worried if I lived in the UK. But that's realistically because I don't think the government really gives a fuck about its citizens, to be honest. Easy to get residency over there. Can be. There's multiple different ways. You can get employed, you can set up your own business, you can buy 2 million dirhams worth of property. Lots of different ways. How do you deal with people who say trading doesn't work? I understand. It doesn't work for everybody. Not everyone's built to, you know, put the work in. The ones that normally say it doesn't work are the ones that have over leveraged, risked their whole balance and lost it all. But for me, if something exists and there's, you know, proven people that have made it in trading, to me, it has to work. In the UK, it's every man for themselves. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Given how strict the buy is, do people still manage to get their hands on stuff in clubs? Yeah. I'd say so. Right, I think last year I was in 5-palm penthouse, and someone approached me thinking that I sold it. And I was like, bro, like, are you dumb? I wouldn't even dare to do that over here. Like, there's a reason why those sort of things land you in fucking prison for life over here. So I mean, back in the UK, yeah, slap on the wrist, on your way. But mate, over here, different story. All right, 6 minutes until FOMC release. When was the moment you realized you made it financially from trading? Last year. You gotta remember, towards the end of 2022, I was still Harrison's cameraman. I had my own little VIP group that was like £25 a month. And, you know, I used to send my setups out in there. And then it wasn't until sort of end of January, February that Harrison even realized that I knew how to trade. UK is a horror show at the minute. Yeah. I mean, I kind of see little bits and pieces on the news, but thoughts on the ongoing Andrew Tate situation? I don't know. What you mean, his like court case and stuff? Again, I'm not really big on social media. I don't have TikTok and my Instagram. I don't follow anybody, so I don't really see anything. How long have you been doing this for? 6 years. Not sure if you've been asked. What are your thoughts on FX Alex G doing 100 to 1 million? My simple response is search FX Alex G scammer and you will see my thoughts are the exact same as everybody else. Seen you comment on a couple of tickers recently. Not mine. I got rid of the account. Unless somebody else is fucking using it. But then it was logged in on, I think, 3 or 4 different devices, because I used to let Harrison use it for lives whenever he got banned. Yeah, that TikTok was never really mine. Do you know what I mean? I had it years and years ago. I think I built up like 2,000-3,000 followers. But then when I used to go live with H last year, I think even like when General G was there, I used to go live with him. A lot of the people that I gained on that account were just kind of his fans, General G's fans. So I never really looked at it as mine. And then as soon as he started using it, I just kind of like switched off from it. I think they're using it, commented on a few posts asking to rate Adam took that as a trader. Oh, really? Who are they asking to rate? Who are they asking to rate me? General G. Yeah, funny times. Those were funny times. How was the general behind the cam? Very much like what he is on cam. He's one of those people that I would say is very much like what they are on camera as they are off camera. You are employee of HS. Oh, probably. Oh yeah, when he went on a bit of a spiral of saying you're employed, bruv, blah blah blah, but I rate you, like I respect what you do, and blah blah blah. Like kind of went on a bit of a spiral of dissing me and then praising me. So that didn't really make sense. Fame got to him. I mean, look, I reckon he could have had a much bigger, lengthy career. But again, you know, some things get to people's heads. You know, again, what he has going on with his autism and stuff like that, maybe that affects how he is day to day. But when he first came over, yeah, that was like an amazing era, I think, for comedy, clips, content. Like the best thing would have been to get him involved in, if anybody remembers the OF days. The OF days were good. They were funny. If he'd been involved in that would have been fucking hilarious. Yeah, so 10 seconds until FOMC comes out. Let's have a look and see what happens. Whether or not it'll actually be instant. I don't think it will. Now he does OF promo. Nice. Do you get recognised out and about? No. And I love it. I think in a year or two of me being involved with Harrison, I've had like one person say to me, "Good, you know what? I haven't even taken this plastic off my fucking screen." One or two people go, "Oh, it's Adam took that." That's it. But I don't mind. I mean, I didn't get into this for the fame and to be recognised. Give it another 5 minutes. Yeah, I think you might be waiting a little bit longer than that. It's not one of those like NFP inflation type things where you just see volume just go boff within seconds of it switching to the hourly candle. Are you looking to place any trades on gold tonight? Only if it does one of these two scenarios. If it does nothing and it just stays within this range, I'm not jumping in anything. I mean, realistically, it's 10 p.m. for me anyway. I don't really like getting into trades this late because it means I don't really sleep that well, especially with gold. Like, it's a little bit different on a pair, but you know, with gold, I don't really like holding a trade overnight unless I'm in a decent amount of profit with it being risk-free. As far as I'm aware, he's explaining why the cut was needed. The cut. Eh? You running your own group at the moment? I joined the elite just before the whole wood thing, so it was unfortunate timing. Yeah. Yeah, that was unfortunate. To be fair, I'd got that group going pretty well. things happen. Fed interest rate cut, yeah, all that sort of stuff. That's where volatility comes in. There's probably no movement on. Yeah, yields aren't doing anything. DXY ain't doing anything. Gold ain't doing anything. Major anyway. Everything is pretty static. GU, EU. Ah. Ops on Bobby Ollie Matthews' trader. Yeah, he's knows his stuff. For sure knows his stuff. I met him when he was over here with Ollie. We went to, can't remember what beach club it was. And yeah, just chatted. I didn't realise that he was in the old, like, advanced group. But from what I've seen, he's a good, profitable trader. No qualms. I definitely think he should get more recognition by his, partner, i.e. Ollie. But, they've got their own business set up. That's what I always used to respect about Harrison. Harrison always used to, say I was his trader, and I'd be in most of the videos. He'd come up to me and he'd show the charts, and we'd sit on live together and stuff like that. I very, very rarely see Bobby in any of the stuff that Ollie posts. Pretty sure Bobby is moving to Dubai next week. Maybe. Everybody moves to Dubai. But in order to move here, you can't just move here, if that makes sense. Most people that have, like, from the trading scene that I know of, they've attempted to move here, have either not liked it, failed, or just given up. Ed Trades, he was going to move here, and I met up with him, and this, that, and the other, and then a month later, he's gone back to the UK. He doesn't want to live in Dubai. He wants to live back in the UK. But most of like Lewis McGarry and Ollie Matthews, Gunter, all them guys, they just come over for like 2-3 weeks. Dubai's like, look, at the end of the day, Dubai is the place to film content. Beach clubs, rentals, nice restaurants, all that sort of stuff. It's like a content haven for anybody that's kind of running out of ideas. The seasons in Ibiza and Marbella and all them sort of things, they're done and dusted now. You ain't going to get content in the UK. So where can you go that's hot all the time and you can do fucking all these things? Dubai. I don't get why people who actually can trade connect with these influencers, though. Because they need a platform. They need a platform, I guess. If it wasn't for Harrison, people wouldn't know who the fuck I was. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had 20 people in my original VIP group that I charged £25 a month. Like, I realistically wasn't going to get that many other, like, more people. Bobby, Ollie's trader, if it weren't for Ollie, people wouldn't know who Bobby was. Do you know what I mean? So there's always a benefit for a trader that can actually trade to get more recognition. I mean, I could have not come back to the investment group, but I did it because I know that even if I can help 10 people in that group, then I've done my job. You don't think you could be as you are today without HS? Of course not. But then there's a stepping stone. I didn't meet HS just randomly. But like, I worked for a guy called Aman Nat, who was one of the owners for Astro FX. I worked for him as a content creator. And then I worked for Switzy. Again, didn't know anything about Switzy, didn't know what he was about. Just thought he was a trader because Aman Nat said he was. And then through Switzy, I met HS. So there was a stepping stone of people that led me to where I'm at today. So it's opportunities. Do you know what I mean? It's making a situation out of something to get to where you want to be. Before working for Aman Nat, I was a barber. Do you know what I mean? With no other... Yeah, I was trading whilst being a barber, but would I be where I'm at today if I continued to be a barber? Probably not. Everything happens for a reason. Is the O Beach Dubai open yet? Surely going to have a full final boss. Oh, mate, don't. Trust me. Like, as soon as I saw that shit being posted on Instagram, because for some reason it just comes up on my feed, every single comment is from some fucking English person in there. Oh my god, O Beach in Dubai. Oh yeah, great. Oh, fuck off. Like, I think I got the most liked comment, and it was me putting only English people get gassed about a beach club opening. How did the Anam, or you mean Aman, guy recognize you from then? He didn't. I literally messaged him because he put up some video in his group that, you know, he'd make more content if he had the time, but he's always so busy to edit and stuff like that. And I messaged him purely on a whim and went, bro, like, I do content creating, which I did. I had all the camera and stuff like that, photography, content creating. Be happy to film some content and come and do some bits and pieces with you. So he said, yeah, come up to London. Took me out for like a weekend. I think we went to, what's that place? There's a club, quite a well-known club. Probably doesn't narrow it down, but yeah, I did a weekend of shooting content for him, and yeah, that was it. Got the job with him, and he sort of said, look, within this you'll work for me, but you can go and work for other people as well that are like my mates. And yeah, Switzy was the one that started actually taking me away to different countries. But, you know, again, I can't disrespect the way I've got here. Do you know what I mean? I can't go, oh yeah, yes, I can say, is Switzy a trader? Probably not. He's a very, very good affiliate marketer, but I can't disrespect the guy because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have met HS and I wouldn't be where I'm at. Everyone has had a part to play in where I'm at today, including myself, for making the decision to quit barbering and find something that I was interested in and passionate about, which was the content side. But all the while I was still trading, which I thought was perfect, getting in with Aman Nat, because I was like, oh, you know, him and Sean Lee were two people that I basically watched when learning. So now I'm in with him, I can, you know, maybe ask him more trading related stuff and actually get some like insights and all this sort of business. But yeah, he didn't really want to talk about trading when I used to work for him. But how long do you plan on staying in the group making content? Look, I've done it for 2 years, near on 2 years. I enjoy it, so it's not something that I'm just going to randomly stop. 0% income tax. You're correct. Well, this was a bit of a boring one. Nothing's really happened. It's been 5 minutes. Where's the volume? Why did you choose the good side of trading then, unlike Switzy DMO and the sides of HS? Because I didn't know about it. I genuinely didn't know that affiliate marketing was even a thing until I'd say February, March of last year. Didn't even know. I didn't know what CPA was. I didn't know what rebate was. I didn't know what A book and B book was. Nothing, literally. But would you trust Switzy's trades then? No. No. You should interview traders whilst cutting their hair, and if they think they're lying about being a trader, give them a shit trim. Yeah, no, I was going to do a podcast and get different influencers on and people that say that they're traders and this, that, and the other, but I personally don't think people would come on for that very reason. They'd wonder why. I don't know. I really struggle to like people Switzy and DMO because at the end of the day, it's just all a money cycle. But isn't everything? Let's be honest. Everything's a money cycle. You are essentially the consumer. They are the seller. So I mean, it's no different to buying clothes and stuff like that. I agree with you. The way it's done. If it was done properly, the affiliate marketing industry wouldn't have a bad name. But the way it's done is what's given affiliate marketing a bad name. What do you think is better, trading own capital 1K, 5K, or funded? I'd say trading your own capital. Personally. Oh, Dante Spears. Okay, he ran a Discord with Sean Lee too, sending out crazy trades, but then they part ways. I think you know Sean Lee or Dante Spears. I know Sean Lee, Dante Spears. Yeah, I've heard of the name. I think there was a video I watched as to why they parted ways. Right, I'm just gonna go to the toilet, guys. You can happily watch price play out and do absolutely fuck all, which is what it's doing, and I'll be back. Absolutely insane volume from FOMC, yeah. Fucking giving it some, innit? Yes, bro, this guy Dante shorted BTC like 3 times from the top to 59k this year and called it publicly on X. Don't know what Sean's doing these days. I think Sean still runs a Discord. Didn't Sean Lee get exposed hard? I think he exposed himself. I remember someone sending me a Facebook Live video that he did where he was like leant up against the door, like pinging off his head. He was leant up against this door, sweating. There's like people banging on the door and all this sort of stuff. And I think it was, I think it's in the Philippines where he's living. And yeah, there was loads of speculation of it's like investors' money that he blew and blah blah blah. Somebody else was in his group and said that he just randomly shut everything down because there was people in there calling him out, saying that he was a scammer and stuff. But look, it's one of those. I don't really get mixed up in the drama and stuff. Yeah, Vietnam. Don Vo's never coming back. No, do you know what's weird? Because when I first watched Don Vo's streams, despite the fact he was trading with a horrible R2R, he actually was quite profitable. But I think with the whole PAM setup and that he had, something doesn't make sense. I don't see why someone would ruin their career or ruin their image, their kind of persona and all that sort of shit for I don't know. I did the maths. I did a video on it. Even if he got like a percentage of the deposits and stuff like that, it's still not worth, in my head, like basically ruining your reputation. No, it wasn't even GU algo type shit. Like taking, I think it took like 200, 300 trades on the PAM account. And that just doesn't make sense, because when you watch his lives and stuff like that, he seems so like, right, no, I'm waiting for this, only waiting for this. Like, one trade, if it hits stops, not revenge trading, boom. Like 300 trades on gold in one day. But yeah, I agree. If it wasn't him, then you'd be the first one to publicly come out and say, look, nothing to do with me. Here's the evidence. You guys know what I'm like, trading, blah, blah, blah. But it's just gone ghost. Ghost. Top 3 realist traders in your opinion? Very good question. Do you know what? I don't even know. I don't even know. That's the thing. People that I used to think were real traders aren't. Sean Lee, right? I think Sean Lee does know his shit. I've seen Sean Lee in his like prime, and he does know his stuff. So I would put him in there. But other than that, I don't really know enough traders. The guys that I used to think were traders aren't. I don't think Lambo Raoul's a trader. I don't think FX Alex G is a trader. I don't think Q Banks is a trader. I haven't seen enough of TJR to know whether or not he makes his money in trading. Even though I've spoken to him a number of times, it's probably just because I haven't actually watched any of his stuff. But yeah, other than that, I couldn't really say. I used to think ICT was a profitable trader, but I've understood now that there are good teachers, but bad traders. Why do you think that Q Banks and Raoul are not real traders? Well, firstly, Raoul comes from money. His Bugatti that he owns is his dad's, and it's all a circle. Q Banks is kind of the head of the snake, but Q Banks, Raoul, FX Alex G, Drewski Banks, who used to work for Q, they're all in a circle. Q Banks owns his own broker and indirectly affiliates basically for his own broker, but they all sell courses. And Lambo Raoul, he uses the same trader as what FX Alex G uses. And then, yeah, Drewski, when he got cut from the team, I think he outed the whole kind of setup. But yeah, ICT, good teacher. His concepts obviously work because there's a lot of people that do use them. But again, even these ICT guys, like I said, go and watch this guy, Wall Street Police.
If you've ever gotten stopped out,
and you know, he pulls up all of these guys. These guys. Does that mean? And I think there's another guy as well, who's another guy who's good to watch. This guy, Iman Trading. I fucking love his videos. He doesn't get enough clout. But there's two ICT traders that are frauds. He's done Donvo. He's done this guy. He countlessly does ICT. Yeah. Iman Trading's a very, very funny guy. Very funny guy. I would say TGR actually makes money himself trading. Yeah, probably does. I haven't watched him do any trading. But then that's because I haven't watched any of his stuff. I'm sure if I watched some of his stuff, so I can't. It would be bad of me to speculate on something that I've not seen. Do you know what I mean? Does it make ICT a fraud if his teachings work? Rob's because he claims stuff he did. Yes, that's the bit that makes you a fraud. It's like the guy I learnt a lot from, Swaggy C. Good teacher, but he's not a good trader. So you mean that so you mean Alex G's $100 to 1 million isn't real? Yes, 1,000 million%. It's not real. Could the FCA ever take down these fake traders or clamp down on it all? They could, but there's not enough for them to go after. Aman, Nat, and Sean fumbled the biggest bags, in my opinion. They had the industry on lock till 2021. Yeah, but then they just they fucked up with the Astro FX. They were doing the funded accounts and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a whole video on that as well, on Aman, Nat, and Sean. I think that Iman or Wall Street Police, he's done a video on it. Do you believe banks and institutions target retail traders? No. You've got the guys even in the banks and the institutions that go like this whole, we target your stop losses and all that sort of stuff, or we've got the ability to see where your stop losses are. It's a load of bollocks. They don't care. Like, literally, the retail scene makes up probably 2 or 3% of the liquidity that goes into the markets. Like, they really don't give a fuck about whether or not Joe Bloggs' stop losses set below 26.04. Oh yeah, look, target that guy. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just a myth that people like to play on. Like, oh, the banks have targeted my stop loss. That's like me saying on GBP JPY, yeah, they targeted my stop in profit today and then flew price to the upside. Yeah, I know, man, Nat still does it now. Adam, you know gold. It's tested the weekly low twice now today, and am I wrong to assume that it's going to retrace that retracement line, or look, like I said, I wouldn't even be looking at gold until it breaks out of one of these ranges, one of these areas. And he did the worst apology. One of the funniest things I've ever seen on TikTok was someone promoted a funded account provider without being paid, supposedly. Then 3 days later, it turned out to be a big scam. Who's that? Excuse me. So do you think buying and selling pressure makes up the market or an algorithm? I mean, the buying and selling pressure is all from the big dogs, the banks, the institutions, the hedge funds, all of that sort of stuff. That's what makes up the movement. You know, it's not a million fucking retail traders sat with all of their £300 balances to like 100k balances or whatever, buying and selling the market that makes up the liquidity. No way in hell. It's billions being fucking pushed through. Do you know the 1 of 100x? I'm not really clued up on funded accounts. Literally only really know FTMO. But then that's because they were around when I first started. But look, I'm going to hop off now because it's 10:30. Going to get some food. I don't think much is going to happen, to be honest. I think we're going to be seeing more volume tomorrow. So it makes more sense to do a later stream tomorrow and see what happens. But yeah. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for all the questions. Love always. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Investment Group boys, you'll have your morning vid. And yeah, we'll do a stream again tomorrow. Pick up where we left off.